Okay, Rob, let me know if I'm coming through. Let me know if I'm coming through. Let's see here. You're right. Hold on, let me get this adjusted here. Okay, sorry, just dropped my eyeglasses here. Let me get that taken care of. And okay, so hopefully you can hear me right now. But if not, just let me know, and we will get that taken care of. And then I will go ahead and start the broadcast as soon as you give me the okay. So, anyway, all right. Hopefully I'm coming through now. Okay. All right. So now Avon to kick off after that outstanding first drive. It's a squib kick, and it is fielded inside the 10, right up to the 15, 20. He's got a little bit of a hole. He gets up to about the 27. So Avon will start over about the 27 on their first offensive end. Okay, good. Thank you. So Avon now Avon starting on offense here. And we got a handoff, and there's it looks like he fumbled, and the Orioles got it. So Avon looks like they're going to put this one away early here. Avon will take over at the 21-yard line. Should be easy to score here for the Orioles. They scored on their first play on a 54-yard touchdown pass from wide receiver Peyton Garrett to a wide-open Carmelo Mitchell. So 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, 1 running back, Mason Miller, and it's incomplete. Mitchell was the intended receiver. So Avon, with 9:07 to go, not even a minute into this game, already looking like they're going to run away with this one. It's, of course, it's still early, but certainly they started off the game with an exclamation point. Their first play was a touchdown. Zionsville's first play was a lost fumble. Now Etienne now is up the middle for about 5. In Nation, they're pronouncing it. So thanks for that clarification. So they give him credit for 5 on that one. So now, and Miller on the keeper takes it over to the right side, and he dodges a tackle, and he gets out of bounds after picking up the first. So nice second effort there by Mason Miller. I apologize. For some reason, our audio shorted out in the beginning of the broadcast, so let me just fill you in. We're coming at you live from Hendricks Regional Health Stadium on the campus of Avon High School for this junior varsity football contest between your Avon Orioles and the Noblesville Millers. Avon won the varsity matchup in a closer than expected game last night by a score of 14-7. Avon finishing the regular season ranked number 8. Well, they're currently ranked number 8 in the state. We haven't seen the final rankings yet. They finished with a 7-2 record heading off into the playoff opener, which I'll talk about later. And now fakes the handoff and throws into the end zone for an easy touchdown to Peyton Garrett. So Peyton Garrett in the first minute 32 of this game has a touchdown pass and a touchdown reception. That one coming from about 10 yards out. How many yards was that touchdown pass?
10 yards.
Okay, yeah, 10 yards. That's what I thought. So Garrett, I tell you, I've been watching. This is my 41st consecutive season of watching football, and I don't ever remember seeing a player have a touchdown pass and a touchdown reception in the first 2 minutes of a game at any level. So now Avon going for 2 again. And Miller throws, and he's got the completion there to Mitchell. So Mitchell getting into heavy action early. So it's a 16-0 lead for the Orioles here the regular here in the JV finale. So anyway, well, I'm kind of speechless here. I mean, Zionsville's down. Zionsville's down 16-0 before they knew it hit them. I'm just, I know Avon's very good, and I believe they're going to win a Class 6A championship here in the next few years. But this is great, even by their standards. So now it's a squib, and it rolls out of bounds around the 23. Wow. Well, how exciting it is that, you're going to have these kids to cheer for on varsity very soon. So Avon's first play was a lost fumble. So, and now in Noblesville, Noblesville just trying to get something going here. And now they got a handoff there to Leslie, and he's brought down for a gain of maybe 1. They give him credit for 1. 8:10 to go here in the first quarter. Avon already with a 16-0 lead. They've had 3 plays from 4 plays from scrimmage and 2 touchdowns already. So now, low snap, and he throws deep down the left side. Nearly made the reception there. Just missed him. Danny Cox was the intended receiver there for the Millers. Noblesville's had a struggling football program for a long time. The last winning season was all the way back in 2000. It doesn't mean that they're a bad program. Just means that they play in a very tough conference, the Hoosier Crossroads Conference, probably the second toughest conference in the state behind the Metropolitan Interscholastic Conference, which is widely regarded as one of the top conferences, not merely the top conference in Indiana, but also one of the top conferences in the country, sometimes even listed in the top 2 or 3. And now screen pass, and now it was over his head. It looks like there was a little miscommunication. So 3 and out apparently for Zionsville on their second possession. I'm sorry, it's Noblesville. I don't know why I keep getting Noblesville and Zionsville confused. Maybe because they both have green in their uniforms. I'm not sure. I apologize, though. Carmelo Mitchell back deep to receive the punt for the Orioles, trying to pile onto their lead and finish the regular season on a positive note. And we got the punt away. And it bounces. Mitchell's got it on a hop. Just takes it over to the 30, and now he's dodges a couple of tacklers, dives forward, and he gets up to about the 33 or 34. So Avon taking over with 7:30 to go. It's been total domination for the first 2.5 minutes. Avon only five plays from scrimmage so far, but 2 touchdowns. Now with 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Miller in shotgun, and he hands off, and he's spins around and drags about 3 defenders with him, and he might have the first down. Yeah, they're giving him credit for the whole 10 yards. How do you pronounce that guy's name? Amos Achen. Okay, thank you to the guy next to me for filling me in on that pronunciation. It's the first time I ever remember seeing that name anywhere. So 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Achen, the running back. Achen gets up, but he slips. And, you know, I had to really watch my step walking up the steps of the bleachers here today. And, you know, there was, I don't know how much rain they got here in Avon last night, but, you know, it was pretty slippery, so I imagine the field could be slippery as well, as they give Achen a 2-yard loss there, which is about the only thing that has not gone right for the Orioles so far in this game. But last night where I was down in Sullivan, which is, I guess, about an hour and a half southwest of here, we had a lot of rain. And now pass up the middle is complete to Garrett, and he's up to about the 41, so it's a first down easily. And so that's a pickup of about 20 yards there from Miller to Garrett. So 1st and 10, Orioles at the 41. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Achen, the running back, Miller in shotgun. Takes the snap, screen pass, and Mitchell just turned around a split second too late, and it's incomplete. So 2 for 4 through the air so far for Miller. So the Orioles in huddle now. Lining up 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Achen, the running back, Miller in shotgun. Takes the snap, drops back, got plenty of time, throws up the middle, and it is incomplete. Not sure who he was throwing to. He wasn't close to anybody. 5:59 to go. That brings up 3rd and 10 for the Orioles, trying to keep this drive going. They already have a 16-0 lead. This is our last JV broadcast of the season, but we will be bringing you the Orioles as long as they last in the playoffs, starting a week from Friday night, in which they open by hosting the Perry Meridian Falcons, a team who enters the game with a record of 1-8. Should be an easy win and catapult us into the sectional championship game against the Brownsburg Southport winner. So now 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Achen, the running back. So it's so now Miller takes it, throws up the middle to Garrett, and it is just through his hands. So 3 consecutive incompletions by Miller, and now suddenly it's 4th and 10, but being on the Noblesville 41, I imagine that they will go for it. And it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. Well, it looks like Jarrett Stephen has been promoted permanently to varsity, because I do not see him in this game. And I have no doubt that he's the best JV running back in the state this season, and would be probably starting for any other team if it weren't for the fact that Avon has Samson James, a senior who's headed to Ohio State next season. Jarrett Stephen also likely headed for a high Division I school 2 years from now. So now he's fixed the handoff, and he's got a wide open Peyton Garrett for the first down up to about the 26 or 27. So that broke a streak of 3 consecutive incompletions, and they give him credit for 14 on that one. Garrett with 3 of the receptions so far for the Orioles. Avon already with 100 receiving yards, but 54 of them went to Garrett himself, because he threw a 54-yard touchdown pass to Carmelo Mitchell on the first play from scrimmage of the game. So now 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Achen, the running back. Achen gets it, and they're ready for him, and he's stopped for just a gain of 1 or 2. So good awareness there by the Noblesville defense. So Achen getting credit for just 1 yard there. Achen, by the way, spelled Eniitan. I have no idea what the nationality of that name is. Maybe some African culture, I don't know, because I usually can pick out the nationalities' names pretty well. So now we got 2 receivers to each side. And now quarterback keeper there by Miller. He's inside the 25, dodges a tackler, and he gets up to about the 22 or 23. So that'll bring up about 3rd and 5 or so. 4:41 to go here in the first quarter. Avon trying to finish the regular season with a bang here in the JV portion of their schedule. And they give Miller credit for 3 on his second keeper of the game. He's 2 for 11 now. So now we've got, we've got Griffith and Reynolds to the right, 2 receivers to the left, Asian, the running back, Miller in shotgun. Fakes the handoff, throws up the middle to Garrett, and it's just off his fingertips. Yeah, I wonder if the ball is a little bit wet. It could be. But anyway, last night it was a very wet game, and there wasn't a whole lot of rain during the game, but there had been a lot of rain during the day down at Sullivan, which is it's in the far west of the state, just 15 miles from the Illinois border. It's about halfway between Terre Haute and Vincennes. It was a really nice, really nice experience being down there, but glad the Cascades moving to the Indiana Crossroads Conference, which not only has overall better teams, but also much closer to my home on the west side of Indianapolis. So 2 receivers to each side now. Asian, the running back, Miller in shotgun, takes a snap. He dodges a sack, rolls to his right. Now he takes it forward himself, and he's got the first down, and he inside the 10. So nice footwork there by Mason Miller. And let's see where they mark it. I think they're going to mark it at the 6 or 7. At the 7, so that's a 16-yard pickup for Miller there, by far his longest keeper of the game. 1st and goal for the Orioles at the 7 here. Again, they look like they're trying to close out the regular season with a bang. So, 2 receivers to each side now. Hand off to Ishan, and he dodges. He goes right, then goes forward, and gets to about the 4 or 5. 3:53 to go here in the first quarter and counting. We're coming at you live from Hendricks Regional Health Stadium on the campus of Avon High School. And I think we got the marching band practicing behind us. I'm not sure. Usually when I'm here, there are multiple events going on. Avon, a big megaplex, a big hub for high school sports here in the Indianapolis area. A lot of, band competitions, swim meets, and, other major events take place here. So now 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Asian, the running back. Miller takes the snap, hands off to Asian, and he's got nowhere to run, and they bring him down around the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 3rd down and goal. They're marking it at the 5. Asian, by the way, is a 5'10", 163-pound senior for the Orioles. Hopefully he'll see some action in the playoffs for the varsity team, but we'll see. So now we've got Garrett and Mitchell lined up to the left. Reynolds and Griffith to the right. Asian, the running back. Asian gets the handoff, and he plows forward. Did he get in? He's going to, yes. I couldn't tell if he made it in or not. He did. So now it's 22-0 with the conversion pending. Avon has scored on all 3 of its possessions today. That one was it took the longest, but they got the points nevertheless. It's the first rushing touchdown of the game for the Orioles. 5 yards up the middle by Asian Miller. Already 7 carries in the game for that young man, and they're going for 2 again. Well, why not? It worked the first 2 times. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Miller takes a snap, drops back. Now he rolls to his right, throws, and he's got a man open, and he's got it. And we got to Miller caught it for the 2-point conversion, but let's see if it counts or not. I don't know if the flag looked to me. Okay, it's going to be against Avon. Now I know when I've commentated Avon, when I commentated Avon JV 2 weeks ago, in that thriller against Westfield. They were still using Sam Miller, the female soccer player, for the extra points, who's spot on. And the penalty will not move it back. Offensive pass interference against Avon, so they'll replay the down 10 yards back. But yeah, and Sam Miller, she has spot on accuracy for her extra points, and in fact, last night I believe. Hold that thought till after this play because it's a great story. I want to do it justice. And now Garrett, Reynolds, and Mitchell out to the right. Griffith to the left. Asian, the running back. Miller in shotgun. Miller takes a snap, drops back. He throws into the end zone. Oh, he drops it. Well, nice effort though. Going for a 2-point conversion from that far back. And now it looks like we've got a player down. He's on his knees, but does appear to be in pain. Now he rises on his own power and stands up, and now he's walking off the field groggily by himself. We wish him a full and speedy recovery. But what a great start to the game for Avon. If you make half of your twos, it's the same as making all of your ones when it comes to conversions. So, so far the strategy working for the Orioles. But last night was a historic game for my career. It was the first time, to my knowledge, that I ever commentated a girl in varsity football. Now, I believe Sam Miller to be the first girl I commentated in football, period. But last night I've commentated Sam Miller only so far in freshman and JV ball, although I hope to see her on the varsity team in the next 2 years. But last night for Sullivan, they actually had a female place kicker who went for all the extra points. She made 6 of the 7, missed the one only because of a bad snap. And so the kick, it goes deep. It's taken inside the 10, brought up to the 15, 20. And now he switches directions a couple of times, brought down at the 25 or 26. So Avon now desperate for anything they can get. They already trail 20 by 22 points, not even 7 minutes into this game. But anyway, this girl, her name is Kathleen Ming. She's a senior for the Sullivan Golden Arrows. Yes, that's correct, Golden Arrows. She had not attempted a field goal this season, but she attempted all their extra points, and she was, I think, 34 for 37 going into last night. So she's been right around 90% on the season. And Sullivan, is a 3A team that just finished the regular season 7-2, got a big 48-21 win over Cascade last night. Anyway, so now the Eagles line up now, one receiver to each side, 2 running backs, quarterback in shotgun, low snap, but he gets the handoff, and he's brought down for a loss. He looked like he slipped there on the turf. That was Leslie again. And they're marking him down that's a loss of about 5 yards there. So, this Murphy's loss setting in for the Eagles here in this first quarter. And so now 2 receivers to the left. Quarterback and shotgun, Leslie the running back. And now we got a quarterback keeper, and he's got something on the left side, and he gets back to about the original line of scrimmage here, maybe a little bit less. So they give him credit for 4 yards nevertheless. So okay, so the Orioles now on a dreaded 3rd and long. That was Jack Wiltrout is the quarterback for Noblesville. Noblesville, by the way. So now another keeper there by Whitrout, and he's brought down around the line of scrimmage. So it looks like it's going to be another 3 and out for the Eagles after losing a fumble on their first possession. So really, Noblesville, by my count, a net 0 yards of total offense here in the first quarter, 26 seconds to go. Carmelo Anthony back deep to receive the punt for the Orioles. It's a very pleasant morning here in Avon. Now offsides against Avon. So that'll give 5 extra yards to the Millers, but nevertheless still 4th and 6. So now, they rushed the punt going for the block, and now it's fielded at the 35 by Mitchell. He takes it over to the left side of the field, and he's brought down. So nice effort, though. And they definitely good effort there by Noblesville to stay on top of it. You know, Mitchell is dangerous there. And that ends the first quarter. So after 1 quarter of play here at Avon, your score, Avon 22, Noblesville 0 here in the last regular season game. And now I actually, Avon came out of the gates. They got 2 touchdowns in the first minute, 32, and just never looked back. And we apologize for the audio problems that we had at the start of the game. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. It was really weird because my broadcast partner, Rob Kindle, and I, did a sound check about, half an hour before the broadcast, and everything seemed fine. And, hold on. And, and then, I connected to start the broadcast, and Rob said he couldn't hear me. And then finally I just unplugged the microphone and plugged it back in, and then it was fine. I have no idea that was just really odd. But nevertheless, we're glad we got we got it up and running before we missed too much of the audio action. I know we got the whole video thing at least. That's, I guess, the most important part. But all right, so now starting the second quarter here, Avon still on offense, trying to pile onto their lead. 2 receivers to each side. Miller in, and now he gives it off to Asian. And now he picks it, and Miller takes it himself. He's got some room on the right side. He's got the first down, and a little more up to about the 48 or so. So Mason Miller doing very well on the ground. So now they gave him credit for 13 on that one, so he's 4 for 40 on rushing tonight. That's 10 yards a carry. 9:51 to go here in the second quarter at Avon, last game of the regular season. So now we've got Griffith to the right, 3 receivers to the left, Asian, the running back, Miller in shotgun. Avon with a 22-0 lead. Miller takes it, throws up the middle, and it is dropped there by Garrett under double coverage. Miller has actually completed only 3 of 9 passes so far on the game. It could be because of they could have some problems with the wet ball. So now we got Reynolds and Griffith lining up to the right, Garrett and Mitchell to the left, Asian the running back, Miller in shotgun. Miller takes the snap, fakes the handoff, throws up the middle, and it's intercepted over the head of and it's now they didn't get any return yards out of it, but he brought down about the 41. So that was intercepted there by it looks like he's not on the roster. I believe it was number 18 for Zionsville. Part of the annoying charm of high school football, but it was an interception nevertheless. And the first big play for Noblesville in this game, it was just over the head of Peyton Garrett, the intended receiver. So now they give Noblesville they give Noblesville a slightly better. They give Noblesville a slightly better spot than I expected. So now 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 2 running backs, Whit Trout in shotgun for the Millers. And it's a low snap. He picks it up, but they're right on top of him. They bring him down for a big loss. So despite the interception, Noblesville shooting itself in the foot again. That's a 9-yard loss there.
Timeout on the field is called by Noblesville, 8:43 remaining.
And Noblesville taking its first timeout now with 8:43 to go here in the second quarter. And at that, we'll take a short pause for a few words from our sponsors. State Bank of Liston, serving you across Hendricks and Boone counties. Count on us for your mortgage loan, home equity, and banking needs. Mention this ad and get a free gift when Avon wins on Friday nights. Visit us at statebankofliston.com. That's statebankofliston.com to see our bank dog Charlie welcome you. Well, back here at Avon, we're about to resume play following a timeout with your Avon Orioles on their way to an easy victory over the Noblesville Millers by a score of 22-0. It's a game in which Avon scored 2 touchdowns in the first minute, 32, and have never looked back. And now, after a 9-yard loss on a bad snap, Noblesville has the ball, 2nd and 19 at their own 35. So far, -9 total yards there by the Orioles, by the Millers, excuse me. And now throws deep down the right side. He's got a man open, and he's got the catch inside the 30, up to about the 32.
That pass is completed up near the 31-yard line.
So let's see who that was. Whitrout on the. I believe that was Holden Montarsi there on the reception. They give him credit for 34. Boy, did Noblesville need that play. They just needed to get something going. By my count, they had -9 yards of total offense prior to getting 34 on that play. Avon scored a touchdown on their first 3 possessions, then threw an interception on the last one. So now Noblesville trying to capitalize, 1 receiver to each side. 2 running backs, Whitrout in shotgun. Now fakes the handoff, throws down the right side, and the timing was off. I think there's a little, Montarsi just, wasn't, he paused instead of, driving forward, and it looked like that was what went wrong there with that connection. So 2nd and 10 now at the 31. So 2 receivers to each side now. 1 running back, Whitrout in shotgun. 2nd and 10 for the Millers trying to get something going. And now we got some movement at the line, and we got a flag here. It's going to be against the Millers. False start. One thing I love about being here at Avon is that they actually announce the penalties, so I don't have to. Because you see, when you're a high school commentator, often you have to do everything yourself, as opposed to at higher levels where you have a lot of things done for you, like giving statistics, things like that. I'm keeping my own statistics. I'm working the camera, working the audio. And so sometimes I miss the signals on the penalties. So anyway, now Whitrout in shotgun, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And it's another bad snap. He runs back and he picks it up, and he falls on it, and it's going to be a huge, huge loss of about 15 yards. My heart goes out to Noblesville. I'm happy for Avon's success, but I hate to see kids ever go through this. So, after that 34-yard gain, now a penalty and a 5-yard penalty and a 15-yard loss on a bad snap. And now rush and gets just about 2 or 3 yards there.
Hunter Seaborn, Josh Jones, and Sam Shockley make the tackle of the quarterback.
That was Drew Knieper there for the for the Millers on the rush. Drew now becoming a very big name. I've noticed among the youth, possibly from in the 90s you had Drew Bledsoe and then Drew Brees, of course, who still is in the league. And now it's a punt there, and it takes a long Noblesville bounce down to about the 6. So a good punt there at least, but.
With an excellent punt for the Millers. Gets the ball inside the 10-yard line, placed at the 6. Your Avon Orioles take over first down.
So Avon taking over. Avon taking over 1st and 10 at the at their own 6, but the kind of offense they have, that's actually not a whole lot of an obstacle. So now 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 1 running back. Miller in shotgun, takes a snap, drops it back, throws deep down the left side. He's got it, and it's a gain of nearly 50 yards there. Carmelo Mitchell there. And Miller, despite Avon's dominance, really off to not that great a start. He only completed 3 of his first 10 passes, had an interception in there as well. And they're marking him down for, they got an even better spot than I expected, so that's a 51-yard play there. So Mitchell now I have down as 2 receptions for 105 yards. The other being a 54-yarder from Peyton Garrett on the first play from scrimmage. And now Avon threatening to pile on their lead with 2 receivers to each side now. 1 running back, Miller in shotgun. Now he got a handoff there, takes it over to the right side, and he breaks through for about 4. That was Bryce McDowell there. They give him credit for 5. McDowell relieving Asian there, who had been the running back previously in this game for Avon. So 2nd and 5 now at the 40 for the Orioles. So now they line up with Griffith and Garrett to the left. Hold that thought. 2 receivers to each side now. And now a handoff again. And he's up. He's got the first down and more. Bryce McDowell now carrying for the 2nd consecutive play. They give him credit for 6 on that one. 4:47 to go here in the 2nd quarter. A lovely autumn morning here in the beautiful community of Avon. We have about 150 people in the stadium right now, about 40 or 50 from Noblesville. So now handoff there, and they're right on top of him this time, and he's brought down around the line of scrimmage. That was McDowell again. Here they give him forward progress for 1 yard. So now we've got Mitchell and Garrett out to the right, Griffith and Reynolds. Griffith and Reynolds to the right, the other 2 to the left. Now fakes the handoff, and now Miller takes it up for a gain of about 3, so it'll bring up 3rd and about 6 or so. All right, so a pickup of 3 there by Miller, who's I have him now 5 for 43 with 3:28 to go here in the quarter. So now once again we've got Garrett and Mitchell to the right, Reynolds and Griffith to the left. McDowell, the running back, Miller in shotgun. takes a snap. And a quick pass up the middle to Garrett. It's complete, and he's got the first down for a gain of about 10 there. So that puts Miller over the 100-yard mark. So now first and 10 at the 20. The Orioles break huddle here. So now they've got Griffith and Reynolds to the left, Mitchell and Garrett to the right. McDowell, the running back, Miller in shotgun. Now takes a snap. He's got time. Rolls to his right, and he throws it away. And he's got Garrett nearly got it. It was tipped and fell to the ground, incomplete. But we do have a flag though, so let's see. Okay, holding against Avon. So will Avon take the loss of down, or will they? Will Noblesville take the loss of down, or will they just back it up? .2:23 to go here in the. Okay, it backs up to the 35. So now, Griffith and Reynolds to the left, Garrett and Mitchell to the right, McDowell, the running back, Miller in shotgun takes a snap. He's pressured, but he gets away from it. But now then he's brought down for a sack. So one of the few good plays few good defensive plays that Noblesville has made all night. Miller's brought down for a 2-yard loss there. So now it's going to be about 2nd and 27 for the Orioles. 1:41 to go. Noblesville trying to keep Avon off the scoreboard. Avon did get 3 touchdowns in the first quarter, hasn't scored in the second quarter. But a lack of offense has kept the Millers from getting back into this game. 2 receivers to each side now. Miller takes a snap, got plenty of time, throws deep down the right side to Mitchell. Oh, he just dropped it. So that'll be 3rd and long now. So not a great game by Mason Miller so far, but there've been. I wonder if they're dealing with a wet ball because, like I said, the bleachers here were fairly wet when I arrived about an hour and a half ago, and there've been quite a few passes dropped, which is not typical for Avon, at least not the games I've commentated. So 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. McDowell, the running back, takes a snap, drops back, and he throws deep and up the middle to Mitchell and just overthrown. Only 5 for 14 through the air for Miller, 107 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. So 4th and 27 now. Looks like the Orioles are going to go for it. 1:11 to go here in the second quarter. So yeah, that penalty really benefited Noblesville when it looked like they were going to go down by 4 possessions. So now Garrett, Reynolds, and Mitchell lining up to the left. Griffith to the right. McDowell, the running back. Miller in shotgun. Takes snap, and he's under pressure. And Miller, he rolls to his right. And now he just runs out of bounds around the line of scrimmage. So the Millers will take over on downs with 1:04 to go. And I just realized the irony that Avon's quarterback is Miller, and they're playing against the Millers. I don't know why that didn't occur to me before, especially because Millers is just such it's not not a very common name. So they give Miller credit for 3 on that rush there. Well, with 2 timeouts and having the ball taken over at their own 34, down by 22, I think Noblesville will try to get a score here, and they do get the ball first to start the second half. So 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, and now quarterback screen pass is complete for a gain of just about 2. That was Christian McCaslin on the reception for the Millers. Good for 4 yards. So two receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Whitrout in shotgun takes a snap, and it's a screen pass, but it's just too far to the left, and it's incomplete. 26 seconds to go in the half, 3rd and 6 for the Millers.
26 seconds until halftime. 3rd and 6.
And, they better be careful, because if they throw an incomplete pass here, then Avon's going to get the ball back with a chance to do something. Got McCaslin lining up to the left, Montarsi to the right, along with 1 other receiver. And then Whitrout takes the snap, and he keeps it himself, but they're right on top of him, and he's brought down for a loss. And I wouldn't be surprised if if Noblesville just let the rest of the clock run out. As they bring him down for a loss of about 3 there. Yeah, they do. So that's 1 half of play in the books here at Avon in the regular season finale, with your Orioles getting off to a red-hot start, then cooling down in the second half, but still maintaining a 22-0 lead over the Noblesville Millers. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors on audiosportsonline.com. So, McNamara Florist has been Indy's hometown florist since 1954, providing home, business, hospital, and funeral home deliveries of outstanding fresh arrangements and plants throughout the greater Indianapolis area, including Avon. Visit any of McNamara Florist's 7 convenient locations for outstanding personal service and floral design, or to select from the renowned home decor merchandise, including stunning Christmas classics. Also, think of McNamara Florist to provide your floral needs for weddings, home parties, or corporate functions. Contact a sales representative from McNamara Florist at 317-579-7900. That's 317-579-7900. Or visit their website at McNamaraFlorist.com. Reynolds Body Shop is a proud sponsor of Avon football broadcasts. They're conveniently located at 4325 West Washington Street. That's 4325 West Washington Street in Indianapolis, just 4 stoplights east of 465. Their phone number is 317-243-2372. That's 317-243-2372. And they're open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Reynolds has been family-owned and operated for 30 years, specializing in collision repair. Reynolds Body Shop is also an insurance work specialist. Learn more about them on the web at reynoldsbodyshop.com. Avon has a rich wrestling tradition. Red Cobra Wrestling is proud to be a part of that. Red Cobra Wrestling offers training sessions run by nationally known coach Chad Ridd. Red Cobra Wrestling is located at 9233 East Highway 36 in Avon. That's 9233 East Highway 36 in Avon, across the street from Walmart and behind sidelines in the red brick building. Red Cobra Wrestling offers sessions for all ages, including 3rd grade and under, and 4th grade and up. Learn more about prices, class schedules, and information at redcobrawrestlingacademy.com. That's redcobrawrestlingacademy.com. Well, back here at Avon, we're at halftime in our regular season finale of the junior varsity team, as they lead the Noblesville Millers by a score of 22-0. It's a game in which Avon pulled out early, jumped off to a wide receiver Peyton Garrett threw 54 yards for a touchdown pass to Carmelo Mitchell, and Amos Asian rushed in the two-point conversion, making it 8-0. Then after Zionsville fumbled on their first play from scrimmage, Avon quickly scored again with 8:28 to go in the quarter on a 10-yard touchdown pass from Mason Miller to Peyton Garrett, and this time Miller threw to Mitchell for the two-point conversion, making it 16-0. And finally, with 2:34 to go in the first quarter, Asian scored on a 5-yard rush, and the two-point conversion was the two-point conversion failed, bringing us to our current score of 22-0. One passes for 54 yards and a touchdown. Peyton Garrett has 4 receptions for 56 yards, and Carmelo Mitchell has 2 receptions for 105 yards, and each of those players has a touchdown reception. On the ground, Mason Miller has 7 rushes for 44 yards. Amos Asian has 7 for 21, including a touchdown, and Bryce McDowell has 3 for 12. Meanwhile, for Noblesville, Jack Whitrout has completed 2 of 6 passes for 38 yards, no touchdowns and no interceptions. Holden Montarsi has 1 reception for 34 yards, and Christian McCaslin has 1 for 2. On the ground, Whitrout has 3 rushes for 1 yard. Ethan Leslie has 3 for -4, and Drew Knieper has 1 for 3. So basically, this is a game in which Avon has been the far superior program for many years now. Like I said, the Noblesville varsity team has not had a winning season since all the way back in 2000. Noblesville has made great strides this year. They are 4-5, playing very good defense, only giving up 15.3 points a game, which is pretty darn good for a team in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference. But, their offense, only 10 points a game for the varsity on the season. They look like they are moving in the right direction, but just, need another year or two to get over the hump and become a consistently winning team. They probably would be a winning team in a lot of conferences, but, the HCC, like I said, probably the second toughest conference in the be really excited about seeing these kids on the varsity team. There's no reason to think that, Avon's not going to be a perennial top 10 team for the foreseeable future and state championship contender. They've made the semi-state 2 of the last 3 years, getting 1 game away from the state finals. Two varsity quarterbacks ago, Brandon Peters, he's playing at the University of Michigan. His successor, Cameron Meisner, playing at the University of Indianapolis, a very fine Division II school here on the south side of Indianapolis. And now his successor, Henry Hessen, looks like he's going to be a very big college prospect. He's only a sophomore, already doing very well. There aren't a whole lot of sophomores, who are, the starting quarterbacks on top 10 teams here in Class, 6A. So it's a great achievement, and we've got at least 3 players, current starters, who are already committed to play Division I ball next year, led by running back Samson James, headed for Ohio State. So certainly, a lot of reasons for the Oriole fans to be looking up right now. And let's take a look at what else happened last night among the Hendricks County teams. The other 5 of them were all in action. Second-ranked Brownsburg had a tougher time than expected, but still pulled out a win over Hamilton Southeastern by a score of 10-9 to finish the regular season with an undefeated record, and at 9-0. Then in Class 5A, Plainfield, the injury. Plainfield continues to be injury plagued, as they've been for about the last 6 years now. Down to a freshman quarterback now. They lost on the road to Martinsville, who I believe is the number 8 ranked team in Class 5A right now, by a score of 34-14. The Quakers finishing the regular season at 4-5, heading into Friday's playoff opener against Cathedral, and I need to check to find out where that game is too. Plainfield, another audio sports online school, and then in addition, we've got in Class 3A, Danville finished off the regular season by winning 5 of their last 6 games. They beat North Montgomery last night on Danville Senior Day, 43-36. So it looks like quarterback Ben Slayton, who transferred from Plainfield, finally starting to get some chemistry going. And the Warriors still with a fair shot to do something big in the playoffs. And then the other 3A team, Tri-West, got a 28-14 win last night to finish above 500 at 5-4 in the second season under Tyler Bruce, who took over from the legendary Chris Cole. Tri-West again had a 28-14 win over Southmont. And then finally in the game that I commentated for the varsity last night, down in the faraway community of Sullivan, in the southwest part of the state, near the Illinois border between Vincennes and Terre Haute, the Quakers were just overmatched by the offensively outstanding Golden Arrows. Yes, Golden Arrows is their name, and Sullivan rolled to a 48-21 win in the Western Indiana Conference crossover game, which ended up being for 5th place in the conference. So Avon Cascade finishes the regular season at 4-5. So everybody in the county finished with at least 4 or 5. Everybody in the county finished with a record of at least 4-5 this year. And so good luck to all of them in the playoffs. I'll be talking about Avon's playoff activities after this. But right now, let's take a short break for a few words from our sponsors on audiosportsonline.com. You're at halftime in the last JV game of the season, with Avon leading Noblesville by a score of 22-0. I'll hold that thought. We'll hold on the So yeah, we'll hold the words from our sponsors until we get a break in the action. So now, Avon will be kicking off. Noblesville trying to finish off the season on a positive note. They did hold Avon scoreless in the second half. Avon had a good shot to score on their last possession of the half, but they had that holding penalty when they had it down to the 20 and never recovered from that. So now a squib, and we got the play is whistled dead. False start against Avon, so they move it back 5 yards. 10 minutes to go now in the third quarter. Avon opens the playoffs right here at home a week from Friday against Perry Meridian. Keep in mind that all of the 6A teams have the first week of the playoffs off, as do most of the 5A teams. So now fielded at the just shy of the now he takes it up. Nice return there. He fielded it just in front of the 20 and takes it up to about the 45, so that's a nice return there by the Millers. As I believe that was 32 on the return. Oh, I thought it was 32. Maybe it was 35. If it's 35, then that was Blaine McNabb. But anyway, Avon. Okay, let me see. 2 receivers to each side now, 2 running backs. Whitrout, and it's a high snap, but he runs with it, and he fumbles. And Avon's got it. Close to midfield. So another disaster for the Millers, and now let's see if Avon piles on any points. That was Knieper there, by the way, on the fumble. So 9:24 to go. So now Avon takes over first possession of the second half. Handoff there. We got a new running back, and he's up the middle, and he's got a hole, and he could, he goes past the 45 to the 40. That's about a 19-yard gain there by Antoine Wade, making his first carry of the game. So now 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Now handoff to Wade again. He's got another hole, and he's past the 35, and now plows his way up close to the first down line. So Avon trying out different running backs tonight. Wade now 2 carries, totaling 28 yards already. .8:27 to go here in the third quarter. 2 receivers to each side. Wade, the running back. And Wade gets it again, hesitates, then finds a little bit of hold. He loses it. Did he get it? No, Noblesville recovers. Noblesville recovers. So each team loses a fumble on its first possession of the second half. Now Noblesville takes over with 8:09 to go here in the third quarter at Avon. So 1 receiver to each side, 2 running backs for the Orioles. Knieper now in there at quarterback. And there's a rush for a yard or 2. So the gain of 1 there on that rush. So now 1 receiver to each side, 1 running back. Knieper in shotgun. Hand off there, and this time he's got a hole up the middle for about 5.
Run up the middle, Sam Shockley, the first man to get the tackle.
So one of the few decent rushes that Noblesville has made in this game. I give him credit for a 5 on that one. Yeah, so now one receiver to each side. 2 running backs now. 1 standing on each side of Knieper, the quarterback in shotgun. Takes the snap. It throws down the left side. He's got a man open, and it is caught up to about the 42. So that's a gain of about 20 yards there by McCaslin. So now 6:45 to go here in the third quarter. Noblesville trying to get something positive going on offense. They haven't done much so far. And now a quarterback keeper by Knieper. I'm gonna have to. I got to remember not to say that anymore. Too big of a chance I'll get tongue-tied. That's the problem when you have. Give Knieper credit. 6:21 to go and counting here in the third quarter. Regular season finale. Avon leading Noblesville 22-0. All the points coming in the first quarter. And now another, and now Knieper, now he's got the first down. So, yeah, he nice second and third effort there by Knieper. He picked up about, they give him credit for 9 yards out of it. So Knieper doing a decent job on the ground for the Millers. So 2 receivers to each side now, 2 running backs. Knieper in shotgun. Takes it now. He keeps it again, and he goes forward this time for, and about pushes forward, showing a lot of toughness there. Gets about 4 yards out of it. So, I give Knieper a lot of credit. He's not a huge guy, 6 feet, 175, but showing a lot of toughness there on those rushes. So now fakes the handoff, and he keeps it again. This time they're right on top of him, and he's brought down right around the line of scrimmage. 4:47 to go here in the third quarter. I am impressed as Noblesville has been playing hard in this game. And that they haven't been playing like, a team that feels like it's over its head. So, despite the way they got massacred, because I've seen plenty of times when teams get massacred in the first quarter and then they just, play the rest of the game like they're wounded. So now pass up the middle, and it is caught, nearly intercepted. Now, it's lucky that wasn't intercepted, but so now that brings up 4th and 5 for the Millers. They are apparently going for it. Nothing to lose at this point. Down by 22 with 4:03 to go here in the third quarter.
All right, with the score down, Noblesville calls a timeout.
43 degrees your temperature in Avon, but it's mostly sunny, so it's pretty pleasant here in the press box at least. Much more pleasant than the temperature is about the same as it was for my game last night down at Sullivan, but it's it's a much more pleasant, low 40s than it was last night. Now we got the sun and we don't have the rain. So it's I'll tell you, I had a great time down in Sullivan last night. I'm glad I was there once, but it's not a trip I'd want to make a whole lot of times. Driving there and back, on a Friday. So I'm glad that Cascade is my main varsity school. Then I do a lot of the Avon and Plainfield JV and freshman games. And so I'm really glad that Cascade next season is moving to the much more local Indiana Crossroads Conference. In fact, of their 8 new conference rivals, 7 of them, all but Triton Central, are actually closer to me than Cascade is. So anyway, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, 1 running back. Knieper is the quarterback now in shotgun. Takes the snap, drops back, throws down the left side, and it is too far to the left. It goes out of bounds. So Avon will take over on downs with 3:59 to go here in the quarter. 22-0 lead.
Carmelo Mitchell, James Griffin, Amos Agent,
No scoring in nearly 2 quarters worth of action now.
Austin Rasmussen, Logan Kelly, and Cooper Stevens.
So Avon, it looks like they got the bulk of their starters still in the game now. They've got Griffith lining up to the right, and they got Miller and Reynolds to the left. Can't tell who the running back is. Miller in shotgun though, and now handoff there for about 3 yards or so, and that Asian is back in the game now. So they give Asian credit for 2 yards there. He had a touchdown back in the first quarter. In fact, all the scoring was done in the first quarter. 3:19 to go now and counting. So now we've got Reynolds and Griffith lining up to the left. Miller and I think Garrett. No, Miller and Garrett to the right. Mitchell and... never mind. Hand off to Asian, and he hit at the line of scrimmage, but then moves over to his left, finds some space, and gets up for about 3. So nice second effort there by Asian. Picks up 3 on that one, bringing up 3rd and 5. 2:49 to go and counting in the third quarter. So now Reynolds and Griffith to the left. Mitchell and I believe that's Garrett to the... Hold that thought. So now fakes the handoff now, and Miller rolls to his right, looks for a man. He throws deep down the left side to Garrett. Did he make the catch in bounds? Yes. Yes. So that'll be a pickup of about 30 yards there. Great job there by Garrett, making the catch and getting it in and keeping it in bounds there. So, 1st and 10, Orioles at the Noblesville 35. 2 receivers to each side now. Hand off to Asian. They're right on top of him, and he gets maybe 1. 2:10 to go and counting in the third quarter. Avon 22, Noblesville 0. Gain of 1 by Asian. He's 10 for 27 with the touchdown on the game. 1:56 now to go in the third quarter. Last regular season game. So now we've got Griffith lining up to the left. Then we've got Reynolds, Garrett, and Mitchell to the left. And now a handoff there. No, it's fake. He fixed the handoff. Miller keeps it himself. Takes it over to the left side. He's tripped up inside the 30. Picks up a gain of about 5. That'll bring up about 3rd and 4. Miller has rushed well today. Marking it at the 29, so that is a pickup of 5 there by Miller. I have him 8 for 49. .105 to go now and counting here in the third quarter. So now we've got Garrett, Mitchell, and Reynolds to the left, Griffith to the right, Griffith to the left. Asian, the running back now. Asian gets the handoff, and he takes it up the middle, and he's got the first down up to about the 21. That'll be a pickup of about 8. Yeah, they give him credit for 8. .36 seconds to go now, so it looks like looks like we very well might finish the second consecutive quarter without any points being scored. But Avon got 22 in the first, and then it looks like it's going to be more than enough for them to get out of here with a win. So now Reynolds and Griffith to the left, Garrett and Mitchell to the right. Asian, the running back, Miller in shotgun. Miller takes a snap, drops back. He's under pressure. He rolls to his left, and he throws into the end zone, and it is over his head. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10, 4 seconds to go in the quarter. So 4 seconds to go in the quarter. And now we've got Griffith to the left, Garrett, Mitchell. Griffith to the left, Garrett, Mitchell, and Reynolds to the right. Asian, the running back, Miller in shotgun, takes a snap. It's slow, but he gets it off to Asian, who takes it up for just a yard, and that ends the third quarter. So as we head to the last JV quarter of the season, your score, Avon 22, Noblesville 0. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors on audiosportsonline.com. State Bank of Liston, serving you across Hendricks County and Boone County. Count on us for your mortgage, loan, home equity, and banking needs. Mention this ad and get a free gift when Avon wins on Friday nights. Visit us at statebankofliston.com. That's statebankofliston.com to see our bank dog Charlie welcome you. McNamara Florist has been Indy's hometown florist since 1954, providing home, business, hospital, and funeral home deliveries of outstanding fresh arrangements and plants throughout the greater Indianapolis area, including Avon. McNamara Florist is famous for its unique floral designs for all occasions that help its clients express their emotions through flowers and floral giftware. Visit any of McNamara Florist's 7 convenient locations for outstanding personal service and floral design, or to select from the renowned home decor merchandise, including stunning Christmas classics. Also think of McNamara Florist to provide your floral needs for weddings, home parties, or corporate functions. Contact a sales representative from McNamara Florist at 317-579-7900. That's 317-579-7900. Or visit their website at McNamaraFlorist.com. That's McNamaraFlorist.com. Well, back here at Avon, we're about to start the final quarter of the JV season with your Orioles on top of the Noblesville Millers by a score of 22-0. All the scoring was done in the first quarter. Now Avon has the ball 3rd and 8 at the Noblesville 20 with 10 minutes to go. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Mason Miller in shotgun. Hands off to Asian. We got a flag there. Asian brought down right around the line of scrimmage, but let's see what the flag is all about. Illegal formation against Avon. So that'll bring it back. So on Avon's last possession, they got it down to the 20 and then committed a holding penalty that backed it up to the 35, and they ended up turning it over on downs. So penalties, and that penalty, however, is declined, so that'll bring up 4th down. Looks like Avon's going to go for it again. Sam Miller has not played in this game, so Avon has gone for the 2 on all 3 of their touchdowns, made 2 of the 3. Appeared to make the 3rd, but it was called back from a penalty, and they went for the 2 from the 13-yard line. So now we've got Griffith and Reynolds to the left, Garrett and Mitchell to the right, Asian, the running back, Miller in shotgun. 4th down now. Low snap, but Miller gets it. He's got plenty of time. Throws up the middle, and it is nearly caught. He had his hands on it, just didn't get the grip. It was intended for Mitchell, so the Millers will take over on downs with 9:22 to go, trying to salvage something out of the rest of the season. The varsity Millers ended the regular season last night 4-5. Their average margin of loss on the season only by 5.3 points. It does look like Noblesville's program is finally starting to get in motion. So Noblesville takes over at their own 21 with 9:22 to go in the game and the season. And now keeper there And now we've got, let's see, who is that? That's Wittrout back in the game. Picks up about 2 or 3 there. Yeah, they give Wittrout credit for 3. He and Knieper have been alternating quarterback duties for the Millers today. Second and 7 at the 24, 8:49 to go in the last JV game of the season. So they got 2 receivers to each side, 2 running backs, one standing on each side of Wittrout in shotgun. Takes it, drops it back, throws up the middle, and it's just some. It looked there like Montarsi. He hesitated when. I think Wittrout thought that Montarsi was just going to charge straight ahead, so the timing was just off there. I guess a little miscommunication between the two. Wittrout is 2 for 7 through the air now. Knieper 1 of 3. So now we've got Montarsi to the left, McCaslin to the right, 2 running backs. Wittrout takes the snap. It throws it deep down the right side. He's got a man open, but it is intercepted. So Avon takes over with 8:26 to go. First interception thrown by either quarterback for Zionsville today. Surprisingly, Mason Miller actually did throw one. So Avon taking over at their own 47, 8:26 to go. No scoring since the first quarter. In fact, Avon actually scored 2 touchdowns in the first minute, 32. They look like they intended to win by about 70 or 80, but they've leveled off since then. They've moved the ball well. They've just struggled to finish drives. So now Mitchell and Reynolds, Griffith and Reynolds to the left, Garrett and Mitchell to the right. Miller takes a snap, rolls to his right. He's got plenty of time. Throws way downfield. He's got Mitchell open. He makes the catch inside the 30, and he breaks a tackle, and he goes all the way in for the touchdown. So the Orioles get at least one more exclamation point before the season ends. They made that one look easy. Great protection. Miller had plenty of time, and he found Mitchell there. Broke one tackler. Made a cut left, and that was it. So the Orioles going for 2 again with Griffith and Reynolds to the left, Garrett and Mitchell to the right. Miller in shotgun, 1 running back. And a handoff there, and he plows forward, but he stays short. So 2 for 4 on 2-point conversions for tonight, but again, making half of your 2s is as good as making all of your 1s. So for the first points in about 2.5 quarters, Avon takes a 28-0 lead over Noblesville.
The girls soccer team is in the semifinals of regionals, and our Avon
200 for Avon in this game, 190 by Miller and 54 by Peyton Garrett, wide receiver, threw a 54-yard touchdown pass to Mitchell. So Mitchell has caught a touchdown pass from 2 different receivers here in this game. $7:47 to go. So that's a deep kick is taken there about the 10, right up to the 15, 20, 25. He's got a whole 30 over on the right side. He's got something here, and he gets up at about the 34. So now Noblesville. We got a late flag several seconds after the play was over. So let's see what that's all about. Most likely a personal foul if it was that long after the play. It's against Avon. And, Noblesville will take all the free yards they can get. They have not moved the ball well today. Yeah, they've had very little success. I think Zionsville's had maybe 2 first downs all game. So the Millers taking over at their own 49, 7:38 to go. At least one more chance to get a score here before they pack it up for the season. And now throw deep to Montarsi, and nearly had it, but he was well covered. It was knocked away by Wade. So good coverage there. Yeah, Montarsi would have had a chance at it too. McCaslin. So McCaslin to the left, Montarsi, I believe, to the right. Quarterback with standing in shotgun with one receiver at each side. And now Knieper runs forward with it. He dodges a couple of tackles. He's got some room up the middle, but he then heads to left and gets brought down. Let's see what kind of spot he gets. Knieper's, they only give him credit for one, so he, because he moved back on his own, he ended up losing about 2 or 3 yards there. You give him credit for 2. Knieper, he's 7 for 24 on the ground, probably the biggest offensive star for the Millers. I mean, that's how much they've really been contained today. So now Montarsi to the left, to the right, another receiver to the left, 2 running backs. Knieper, the quarterback, takes it. And now he runs get him south, and they stop him for a gain of 1 or 2. So it'll be 4th and long. I guess they will go for it. 6:24 to go. Ball marked at the Avon 47. .609 to go and counting. 4th and 6 for the Millers. It looks like they are going to punt after all. I'm surprised. And if it's a fake, he's got some room on the right side. He's going to get the first down and more out to about the 34. That's about a 13-yard pickup there. So that brings a little bit of jubilation into Noblesville's sideline. So I give Noblesville credit. That was a very good fake there. Probably one of the 3 or 4 best players they made. So 1 receiver at each side. 2 running backs. Knieper drops back, throws down the right side, and it's overthrown. Oh, we got a flag possibly for pass interference. And now we got an Oriole player injured, so he is being attended to. So got a timeout here with 5:39 to go in the season. Avon leading 28-0. penalty will be against Avon. It will be a first down for Noblesville. So now, the player, appears to be a something on his left leg. He's being attended to by Avon personnel. But anyway, at that, let's just take a short break for a few words from our sponsors. Never mind. So he's now leaving the field on his own power, so we wish him a full and speedy recovery. Well, he's limping, but I think, hopefully he'll be okay. Getting a few words of encouragement there from Reynolds. It was a pass interference penalty, so the Noblesville has the ball now at the 19. The injured player is Chase Davis, a 5'9", 240-pound junior for the Orioles. So two receivers to each side. Noblesville trying to get a score in this game, trailing 28-0. So Knieper now throws into the end zone. He's got a man, but it's deflected by Wade. The second big deflection by Wade here in the quarter. So that would have been a touchdown had the reception been made. So 5:33 to go now. So now we've got, Montarsi and one of the other receiver to the left, two running backs, Knieper in shotgun. And now Knieper throws into the end zone, but it is, he turned around. He looks like he turned his head a couple of times looking for it, and he just, I guess, wasn't sure which side the ball was coming to. It was intended for Montarsi. So now two consecutive incompletions after that to pass interference penalty. Knieper's only completed one of 5 passes, but he has rushed very well. .5:28 to go. 11:37 your time of day. Two receivers to the left, two running backs. And it takes a snap, throws over to the right side, but again, miscommunication with the receiver. That's certainly something for the Millers to be working on in the offseason. So now 3 consecutive incompletions. After the penalty, looks like the Millers are going to go for it. Two receivers to the left, one to the right, two running backs. Knieper in shotgun on 4th and 10. And now he takes it himself. He's chased down from behind and only picks up a couple, though. So Avon will take over on downs with 5:20 to go. So let's see what Avon does here. Up 28-0. They give him credit for 2 on that one. So now the Orioles break huddle. They got Reynolds and Griffith to the left, and 2 receivers to the right. Miller is still in there at quarterback. He hands off now to Wade, who takes it over to the left side. There's a flag. If it counts, he's going to have about a 12-yard gain and a first down, but let's see what the call is. Let's see. 4:58 to go. Holding against Avon. It'll be half the distance to the goal. So Avon apparently will close the regular season with a big win over Noblesville. Not quite as big a margin as it looked like it was going to be in the first quarter, but nevertheless, there was very little doubt after the first couple of minutes that Avon was going to get the win. So 2 receivers to each side now. Miller in shotgun. Hands off to Wade, and he gets up for about 7 or 8. Give him credit for 8 on that one. So that'll bring up 2nd and 11 for the Orioles, 4:23. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw one more exclamation point before the season ends for them. So Garrett and Mitchell out to the left. Griffith and one other receiver to the right. Wade, the running back. Miller in shotgun. Gives it to Wade again. He's up the middle, and he gets about 5. So that'll bring up, it'll still be 3rd and long, though. 3:45 to go in the season. So now Mitchell, Garrett, and Reynolds all lined up to the left. Griffith to the right. Wade, the running back. Miller in shotgun. Takes snap. Hands off to Wade. They're ready for him, and he gets just a short gain of about 2. So it'll be 4th and 3. So it looks like Avon will punt. Can't imagine they'd go for a fake in this situation. 3 minutes to go now. Leslie, let's see, I believe that's Leslie back deep to receive for Noblesville. They go for the block, don't get it, and now fair catch, and it's taken there at the 42 by Camden Nagel. Well, it's it's always, we have, a lot of fine schools here in audiosportsonline.com, but one thing I love about Avon as well as Springfield is that they don't just have us do the varsity games, but also some of the JV and freshman games. It's great to give that kind of attention to the future of these programs. And, I really enjoy, commentating, those games. It's a great joy, watching the kids grow. And now another quarterback keeper, and this time they're ready for him, and he only gets about 1. And now they got, apparently to close out the game, they have Whitrout back in there. 2:10 to go now. They give him credit for 0. $157 to go in the season now. 1 receiver to each side. 2 running backs in there. And now takes the snap, and he's swarmed, and he runs forward, but he's going to be brought down for a loss of 2. So 1:38 to go. 3rd and 12 for the Millers on likely their last possession of the season. Here on this beautiful October morning. This is October 13th. Overall, a very good year for high school football here in Hendricks County. Hopefully it'll be capped off by some playoff success. So now, throws deep down the right side. Did he make the catch? Yes, he did, for the pick up of about 25 yards. So let's see who was that there.
Did you see the number of the kid who made the catch? Did you see the number of the kid who made the catch?
I want to say it was 12, but that's a quarterback listed on the sheet, so I don't know.
So now, and now another pass over to the right side, and it's complete again.
Andrew Ohad makes the tackle for the Orioles.
So that's a gain of about 3 or 4, but only 30 seconds left.
Second down, under 30 seconds remaining.
So let's see how how much urgency they show in as they give them credit for 5, but 20 seconds to go and counting. 18 seconds to go. It doesn't look like they're trying too hard to get anything going here. Six seconds to go, and now Knieper throwing deep, but it is incomplete. And there's a flag. There's a flag with 1 second left. So, anyway, so there will at least one more play in the season. So now the ball will be moved up to the 15, so Noblesville will have one more shot to get a score here in the season. And they're going to go for a field goal to avoid the shutout. This would be a 32-yarder. High snap, but they get it up, and it's blocked, and that's the game. So Avon gets out of here with a shutout. Avon gets out here with a shutout, and your final score here tonight at Avon, or this morning or this afternoon at Avon, your Orioles close the season out with a 28-0 win over the Noblesville Millers. We'll be back with a recap and a look ahead to the playoffs after these words from our sponsors on audiosportsonline.com. Reynolds Body Shop is a proud sponsor of Avon football broadcasts. They're conveniently located at 4325 West Washington Street, just 4 stoplights east of 465. Their number is 317-243-2372. That's 317-243-2372, and they're open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Reynolds has been family-owned and operated for 30 years, specializing in collision repair. Reynolds Body Shop is also an insurance work specialist. Learn more about them on the web at reynoldsbodyshop.com. Avon has a rich wrestling tradition. Red Cobra Wrestling is proud to be a part of that. Red Cobra Wrestling offers training sessions run by nationally known coach Chad Red. Red Cobra Wrestling is located at 9233 East Highway 36 in Avon, across the street from Walmart and behind sidelines in the Red Brick Building. Red Cobra Wrestling offers sessions for all ages, including 3rd grade and under and 4th grade and up. Learn more about prices, class schedules, and information at redcobrawrestlingacademy.com. Well, back here at Avon for a final time this afternoon, with where your Avon Orioles have just ended the junior varsity season with a very easy 28-0 victory over the Avon Orioles. It's a game in which Avon dominated to an extreme in the early minutes, and then, went in relative cruise control the rest of the way and never let Zionsville into the game at all, winning by a score of 28-0. With 9:40 to go on the first play from scrimmage of the game, wide receiver Peyton Garrett threw 54 yards to Carmelo Mitchell for a touchdown. Amos Asian rushed in the 2-point conversion, making it 8-0. Then after Noblesville lost a fumble on their first play from scrimmage, Mason Miller threw 10 yards to Peyton Garrett, and then Miller threw to Mitchell for the 2-point conversion, making it 16-0. So he had Mitchell throw and receive a touchdown pass in the first minute 32. The first time I've ever heard of that happening at any level of football. I'll have to check the record books on that one. And then with 2:34 to go in the first quarter, Asian scored on a 5-yard rush. The 2-point conversion failed, making it 22-0. And then there wasn't any more scoring for about 2.5 quarters worth of action until with 7:47 to go in the game. Miller connected 53 yards to Mitchell for a touchdown pass, and the extra point failed, bringing us to our final score of 28-0. A look at the individual statistics. First of all, for your Avon Orioles, Mason Miller completed 7 of 17 passes for 190 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Peyton Garrett threw 1 pass, completed it for 54 yards and a touchdown. Garrett had 5 receptions for 86 yards and a touchdown, while Mitchell had 3 receptions for 158 yards and 2 touchdowns. And like I said, he also threw a touchdown pass. On the ground, not quite as spectacular without Jarrett Stephen, but nevertheless, Amos Asian rushed 11 times for 35 yards and a touchdown. Miller rushed 8 times for 49 yards. Antoine Wade, 6 for 44, and Bryce McDowell, 3 for 12. Meanwhile, for the Zionsville Eagles, starting quarterback Jack Wittrout completed 2 of 8 passes for 38 yards and 1 interception. Meanwhile, the backup quarterback, Drew Knieper, completed 3 of 8 passes for 50 yards. So we had Montarsi. Yeah, excuse me there. We had Montarsi, Holden Montarsi. I couldn't remember his first name, sorry. He had 1 reception for 34 yards. And then I have Christian McCaslin as 3 for 29, and then Wittrout on a trick play. The quarterback had 1 reception for 20 yards. And then on the ground, Knieper led the way. The backup quarterback, 9 for 28. And then the punter on a successful fake. Graydon Anderson, the punter, had 1 rush for 13 yards. And then we had Andrew Petroulis had 2 for 5. Jack Wittrout had 6 for 2. And finally, Ethan Leslie had 3 for -4. So in conclusion, this is a game in which this is a game in which Avon was expected to win pretty easily. They did. They started off like they were going to win even more than they actually did win by scoring 2 touchdowns in the first minute 32 and then another one in the first quarter. It looked like they were going to have another 50, 60-point massacre. They had trouble finishing drives later on and seemed to put the game in cruise control, but nevertheless, and keep in mind that Jarrett Stephen didn't play today. Maybe he played varsity last night. I haven't checked, but nevertheless, it was a nice win for the kids. And a good way to end the JV season. And what can you say with all the different weapons these guys can hit you with? And it shows how far this program has come in this decade when we get a 28-0 win and we're just kind of a matter of fact about it because it's par for the course with Avon football now. So that's a great testament to how high up this program is. Unquestionably, it's a top 10, arguably a top 5 program in the state. And being in the semi-state 2 of the last 3 years, and looks like we're going to be there and hopefully further back, finally get that elusive state championship one of these years soon, which I think we have a good shot to the next 2 or 3 years based on the success of not only the current varsity team, but also the current JV and freshman teams. And, now we turn our attention to the playoffs, which begin overall next Friday. However, all of the 6A teams as well as most of the 5A teams do not play in the first round. There are only 32 teams in Class 6A, I think 37 in 5A, and then there are approximately 64 in each of the other 4 classes. So they almost all of the 1 to 4A teams will be in action on Friday night. But anyway, let's take a look, though, at Avon sectional. Avon is competing in sectional 7. A week from Friday, right here at Avon, they will host the Perry Meridian Falcons, a very bad team. They're 1-8. Should be a very easy win for the Orioles. Their only win came 36-28 over Greenwood. Not only have they lost, but their average margin of their point differential per game is actually 20. It's minus 29.5. So that shouldn't be a problem. But nevertheless, get out here and support the kids. Show them that you're on their side, that you're paying attention, that you believe in them. And then on the other side of the bracket, 9-0 Brownsburg, the second-ranked team in the state. We're ranked 8th, by the way. Brownsburg ranked second. They will host the Southport Cardinals, the number 12 ranked team in the state, who have entered the game with a record of 7-2. Brownsburg certainly the favorite in that game, being at home, but Southport certainly no slouch. And if they bring their A game, certainly they have a shot to pull off the upset. And so anyway, hope you'll get out there for that one. And so hope you'll get out here a week from Friday, and maybe next Friday, support one of the other local teams. Danville, Tri-West, Plainfield, and Cascade all have first-round games. So, maybe you have like a cousin or a nephew or something playing for one of the other Hendricks County teams you can support next Friday. But then definitely be back here at Hendricks Regional Health Stadium a week from Friday. That's October 26th. Hopefully we'll get good weather, but if not, just bundle up and cheer the Orioles on to what should be an easy first-round victory. And then hopefully, they'll get their second consecutive sectional, and hopefully get their third regional in 4 years, because they've got a winning tradition here, and the more big postseason runs they have, the more positive publicity it gets, and the more it creates interest from the fans. But anyway, on a personal note, I just want to say, as always, it's a pleasure to be here. There are 3 teams that I consider to be my home teams here as a commentator. Cascade, for whom I'm the main varsity commentator, as well as, their boys and girls basketball commentator. And then Avon and Plainfield, who I generally commentate for JV and freshman games. And I was disappointed that I lost 3 broadcasts this year, because there were 2 Saturdays I was booked, one for a single game, the other for a doubleheader. And I wasn't able to do the rescheduling, so I lost out on 3 of these varsity and JV games. But I do truly love being here in Avon. I consider myself to be an honorary Oriole. Hope to continue commentating these games for many years. And, a lot of commentators would probably, think, why do you want to waste your time with freshman or JV ball? But, I love it. It's great watching these young kids. And then, one of my favorite joys as a commentator is seeing kids who I commentate coach at a higher level. I've seen a few kids that I commentate go on to play in college ball, and now one of them, Zach Irvin, now playing professionally overseas in basketball. I commentated him with Hamilton Southeastern 6 years ago, and then he went on to a fine career at Michigan. But I also enjoy watching these kids move up the ladder to freshman and JV ball. I like watching the kids move up the ladder from freshman and JV to high school in varsity ball, and hopefully beyond. And Avon's got such a great program, and really, I could tell you, covering Cascade, who's a 2A team, the freshman and JV teams actually, have more talent than a lot of the varsity teams I commentate at the lower levels, and it's just great to watch it develop. And, they have such great facilities and fan support and staff here at Avon. So sorry that, I only did, of course, I did do my first varsity broadcast for Avon this year, which I'd been wanting to do for several years. That was a great thrill back, that win over, back in week 6, that win over Fishers. But I think I did 7 freshman/JV broadcasts for Avon last year, only 3 this year. Hopefully it'll be back up to about 7 or more next year. But I have a great time here, as always. This is one of my homes away from home, along with along with Cascade and Plainfield, and I hope to keep doing this for many years, and that you'll consider me to be an honorary part of your family. And, I'm honored to be your commentator, every chance I get. And if, any opportunities open up for me to commentate Avon in the playoffs, I'll certainly jump on it. Right now it looks like I'll be commentating Cascade for at least 2 rounds, and then beyond that we'll see. But,
I'll always be here every chance I get, and then I will probably be covering some Avon boys and girls basketball games, in the next few months for WYRZ, and then hopefully be back covering Avon football, whether it's freshman, JV, or varsity next year, and many years beyond that. Well, once again, your final score here tonight in the last JV game of the season, Avon 28, Noblesville 0. And now we focus our attention to the playoffs. Well, this concludes our broadcast. As always, thank you so much for joining me, and I cordially invite you to tune in again a week from Friday. That's October 26th at 6:45 p.m. for the pregame show as your Avon Orioles, ranked 8th in the state, open tournament play against the Perry Meridian Falcons. Until then, for audiosportsonline.com, this is Lec Zorn reminding you there is a difference only you can make.